Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this video, we are going to do model revision. So we want to examine the validity of our measurement model. If you recall from the previous video, there are two criteria to examine the validity of the measurement model. The first one is fit statistic. We have the comparative fit index value and the RMSEA, the root mean square of error approximation, as you have seen in our model. And the next one is the parameter estimates, where we check the loadings and also we check the correlation between the subconstructs. Now, what are acceptable scores for fit statistic? Remember that the CFI should always be higher than 0.9. That is an acceptable value. The root mean square error approximation is acceptable as 0.1, so everything less than 0.1 is very good. However, it is much better if the RMSEA of your model is less than 0.08. Now the parameter estimates. The acceptable score for the loadings, they shouldn't be less than 0.5 and they shouldn't be higher than 0.85. Ideally, your loadings should be between 0.7 to 0.84. If you have anything less than 0.5, it is considered a weak score and it should be dropped. When it comes to subconstruct correlation, it should be higher than 0.2, and that is an acceptable correlation score. Let's go back to our measurement model and try to do the revision. So if we take again the magnifying glass, we can see our loadings. We can see a clear issue here when it comes to the etiquette subconstruct, and that's item number 4. It's giving us a loading of less than 0.5. So we need to fix that. So the first thing is we deselect the magnifying glass and we go back to our input path diagram. Now we click on the erase object and we go to the object which is giving us a weak loading. And all we have to do now, it is to calculate the estimates again. We are having an issue here, and that was done on purpose. Notice that the calculation didn't run and the output hasn't activated. The reason is because we have not removed the error term as well. So we need to delete the error term from our model. So let's delete that and try to run again. Now our model has successfully been calculated and we can view the estimates. So let's go back to view the output of the path diagram. Make sure we are looking at the standardized estimates. And let's look back again at our CFI. From 0.93, it went to 0.942. So it has improved. So now, after dropping the item which was violating the loadings, we have got ourselves a better CFI. Let's have a look at the correlations. So if we look at correlation coefficient, all of them are higher than 0.2, which is very good. Take a few moments to answer this question. One last thing to note is that for a particular subconstruct, all the values should be in the same direction. So for example, if we have negative values in security, so if let's say security 4 was a negative item and the rest was positive, then that's a major issue. And all we have to do is we need to remove security 4 because it's not giving us the right value. However, if all the items in security are negative values and within the range that we mentioned, then we can keep that. And the last thing, when you want to drop an indicator, you should always remember to have at least 3. If you don't have 3 items, then you're going to run into a reliability issue. And if you look back at the input path diagram, so we have to make sure that at least one item connecting to the subconstruct has a regression weight set to 1. Otherwise, we will not be able to calculate the estimates. So if we go back again to our output path diagram, we can see that our model has now been revised. After doing the analysis, we decided to drop the item number 4 for etiquette, and that give us in return a better CFI score. So our model revision hasn't complete yet. We can still improve it and get better CFI and RMSEA scores. If we examine with the loop, we have some violating loadings. We have 0.87, we have 0.87 as well, and also we have another 0.87 for well-being. So let's also drop those items and see how that affects our CFI and RMSEA score. So we need to drop item, let's go back. So we need to drop SC2, C4, and H3. So let's do that. Let's go back to our input path diagram. Let's take the delete tool, SC2, make sure to remove the error, C4, make sure also to remove the error, and H3, make sure to remove the error. All we have to do now is to calculate the estimates again. And that ran already. I can see the output path diagram has been activated. And look at our CFI and RMSEA. Isn't that great? We are now already at 0.95 and also our Ramsey has dropped to 0.061. So this is something that you would note in your report. So if we go back again to our presentation and we go back to the question which we asked in the beginning, is there information about the reliability and validity of scores from past uses or from the current instrument? So now when you review a research report, you should be able to look at the CFA, confirmatory factor analysis, if any had been done, and analyze that. So you're able to interpret the data in terms of fit statistics and also in terms of the parameters.